Our next caller is Jordan from Florida.
Jordan, what's happening?
How you doing, Jordan?
Hey guys, how you doing?
Good, man.
Good, man. What's happening?
Not much, man. I'm very happy to be on here. I've been a long time listener of you guys. It's very exciting. And so just to jump into my question real quick, because I know I got a short time and it kind of has a little bit of backstory. But essentially my question is, what qualifies a coach or trainer, and specifically on degrees versus certifications? So a little bit about my backstory is, I didn't finish college. I was kind of an idiot growing up, but even after, I just didn't like learning like that. And so when I moved to Florida, my goal was to become an athlete performance coach. That was the only thing I was interested in. And so when I got here, I started looking into a lot of online certifications, got certified as a trainer, got a NASM certification. And then honestly, following you guys and Joe DeFranco's podcast, I got stacks and stacks of books from you guys. And you guys pushed me into the NCI, so I took a couple courses from them. And did some internships, interned at Elliot Holtz's gym here in Florida. And now I work at Overtime Athletes and train athletes full time. So getting into that, that's kind of just like my background. And, I feel very fortunate. I've been coaching here full time 5 years. And now we work with other coaches, and I help other coaches learn about athlete performance programming. So what spurred my question is, about a month or so ago, I saw an Instagram reel, and there was a coach who he had his PhD, multiple masters, but basically he was just saying is, all coaches need to have a degree, period. And, if they don't, they're completely unqualified and all that. And all that, I just left a comment on there and was just like, hey, well, here's my experience. And, we at our gym, we have interns. I've been here long enough with OTA that, I've had multiple coaches come through that had masters, had bachelors, and they didn't end up being good coaches. And that's all I was saying. Well, this guy just proceeded to attack me in the comments and even start DMing me, attacking me, calling me unqualified, telling me I'm uneducated and all this stuff. So that I was actually kind of hilarious, but that's kind of what spurred my question. And I just want to kind of share that. That's the background of it. So I wanted to reach out to you guys and just kind of ask you, what qualifies a coach, degrees versus certifications. And again, like I said, I've gotten a lot of information just from your podcast, from DeFranco's podcast and certification. And so, yeah, that was basically what my question was.
I would judge a coach's qualifications, if I had to pick one thing, by their experience and who mentored them, way over anything else. Yeah. If you told me right now, I got no certifications, I got no formal education, but I worked under Joe DeFranco for 5 years, I'd be like, you're awesome. Mm-hmm. I'd hire you over the guy with a PhD Easily. In exercise science.
For sure.
So experience crushes all of it. Yeah. Yeah. Now, education's important especially as well.
In this industry.
Formal education for coaching and fitness training,
meh.
The ROI in it sucks.
Yeah.
You go get a 4-year degree and you're going to take away from that what you would get in a certification oftentimes. And experience crushes all of it. So the person you were talking to sounds like someone who's a little jealous of what you're doing.
Insecure, dude. That's
insecure.
That's an insecure dude.
And they're trying to disqualify competitors because they're probably struggling getting clients because other trainers are outperforming them.
Yeah.
And they're like,
but they're not a weak thing to do.
Yeah, but they don't have formal education. No.
You put you compare a degree, a basic, say, sports medicine degree to going through Jordan Shallow certification. You're going to get way more for training athletes than you would in that degree. In 4 years of school, compared to the guy who goes through the certification with Jordan, you would get way more. You would get way more by just watching, listening, and learning from a Ben Bruno, from a Joe DeFranco, from Max Schmarzo, from Corey Schlesinger. Like
that's way worth so much more.
If hopefully you're following all those guys because
I do. I know all those guys.
Yeah, I mean they're the best in the business. There's a reason why they've been on this podcast. We've known a lot of PhDs, and it's not to say that all PhDs are shit, but those guys impress me way more. And some of them have their degrees, and some of them don't. Yeah. But to be honest with you, I don't even know off the top of my head which ones do and don't, because that's the last thing I'm paying attention to is their formal education. It's their experience, and then also their results. I mean, look at like Ben Bruno, who, you know, a lot of people talk shit about, but look at the athletes that he's trained and the results that he's gotten, these athletes, and these athletes that continue to train with him. There's a reason why that is he's created a brand for himself without any of those other things, you know?
I don't really
and you know, I mean, I was insecure about that starting out for a while, you know, as I was trying to gain experience. But, you know, one of the internships I did, I interned under a guy who had his master's degree. And I think this is what kind of broke that for me was, I interned under him, and not to like toot my own horn. I was just so unimpressed with him as a coach. That kind of, you know, broke that for me. And then it wasn't until I interned at strength camp under Chris Barnard. That's Elliot Holtz's former partner, and he's the owner of Overtime Athletes, who I work for now and have been here for 5 years. And now, you know, 5 years later, you know, we have our own coaches certification. We work with a lot of athlete performance coaches around the world. And I have dozens of online athletes I work with, and guys from Georgia, Bama, Michigan State. And I just found it funny, like, talking to that guy. It's not like that guy hurt my feelings, but I just, you know, after that whole episode, I was just like, I could train like this for like 30 years, but according to that guy, I would still be unqualified, I guess.
There's no direct path from college to training. I mean, I can't even point you to a curriculum that is that dialed in comparison to, you know, a certification that's more robust, like your Jordan Shallows or something that's actually like very heavy with anatomy and physiology and function. And really that's all you're going to get anyways from the college experience is maybe a little bit more, you know, anatomical information and, you know, biomechanics. But even then that's a lot of memorization. That's a lot of understanding of, you know, the human body, but the actual application is everything. And the actual working with personalities and you know, human psychology, it way surpasses that kind of information. So I've had both, and I lean so much more on application and mentorships. I just think it's way more valuable for this industry,
especially with pro athletes and athletes in general. I mean, they just they break the mold. So you know, training general pop, I have like certain things that I can say or that I found in common with training, but then train an athlete and it's totally different. Like the rules get thrown out the window because it's different for them. They're a different breed, and they have different goals. And when you're training for high performance like that, you have different things that you're taking into consideration than the average Jane or Joe that wants to come in and lose 15 pounds. So yeah, no, it's you're on the right track. It sounds like you're following the right people. You've been mentored by great people. Keep getting what I tell you and encourage you to do, because what can happen, okay, so let's talk about the thing that can happen to somebody like in your situation, is you can get in your own little bubble of this is like how Elliot's team and they do everything, and then it becomes dogmatic even for you. Like, be open-minded to learn from all those guys that we talked about, because there's something to take from all of them. And I don't believe one of them has it all figured out. I think they all bring something to the table, and you being the person who's open-minded enough to learn from all of those guys, boy, you're going to be better than anybody that you currently work with right now. If all those guys that you currently work with only follow under OTA and their philosophy, it's like, yeah, you want to know that philosophy, but then you also want to know the Jordan Shallows, the Ben Brunos, the Max Schmarzos, and learn from, you know, PGA Performance. Like, those guys are the best in the business. And if you haven't already, I'd lean into getting some courses from some of them, because they all got great courses too.
I'm actually looking at Jordan Shallow's Prescript.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I've been looking at that one. I've talked to a couple of their guys, and that's definitely the next one on my list. I'm still trying to figure, because you guys pushed me a lot into NCI, and we actually worked with Jason Phillips when we were building our online program. And I'm still trying to finish a lot of those programs I got, but you guys pushed me a lot into that.
Yeah, they did really good with nutrition coaching. That's what really attracted us to Jason and his team is that and the business side. Yeah, they're really good at nutrition, really good on the business side. I feel like as far as scaling and making money, that kind of deal. But as far as like education for athletes, I mean, I don't know if you train more basketball, football, what, but
Corey Schlesinger.
yeah, I think
mostly football, baseball, basketball. But again, I work with athletes all around the world, and I got like kids in Ireland that play Gaelic football, and so some sports I haven't even heard of before.
Yeah, Paul Fabritz has got incredible stuff too. So if you haven't gone
Ryan
through
Kula for speed, doesn't really. Yeah, I can't think of anybody better. So
yeah, dude, you get tutelage or mentoring or courses from all those guys. You're gonna blow away 99.9% of every PhD out there in sports performance, dude. You will. Just
clinical.
I appreciate that.
It's different.
Keep doing that, dude. Allow that because I know what it's like. I had the same insecurity when I was a trainer because I was the least educated, least experienced. Was a great motivator for me to get great. So allow that to drive you to be great. And to learn more.
No, believe me, I'm constantly reading books and stuff, and I'm trying to look up every sports performance coach in the business, even if I'm not doing a certification. So I know all those guys and. No, I really appreciate it and appreciate you guys. Again, my wife did a couple of your programs after we had our kids, and your Maps Prime Pro was a huge one. I really loved as well.
Awesome,
perfect. Thank you.
But last thing before we finish off, first Sal, I just want to say praise God. I've followed you for a while, and I've really loved everything you've been sharing the last couple of years, man.
Appreciate that.
And Adam, for you, last little thing, I just want to say peanut butter goes on the bread first.
Yeah, there you go.
Big contention there.
Only men do that. Only men.
Oh, man. Hopefully your wife is the one doing all the cooking and stuff for the house then. So
I bet
she is. But she agrees with me.
Oh God.
Good woman.
That's a lot of dishes over at that house.
Right, dude.
Yeah, you're right. But hey, really, really glad. It was really exciting to jump on and great to talk to you guys and really appreciate it.
Hey,
Thanks, man.
Keep it up, bro.
Take it easy.
Absolutely. Thank you.
The irony is we often get messages from professors who use our content now to teach.
I love that.
That's my favorite thing. I know. It's,
Talk about full circle for us. Huh?
Well, definitely for you and I. We have zero.
Yeah. I can identify with that. I mean, that was a big insecurity for me.
Yeah,
it was I've talked probably a lot about my money insecurities. I also had the education insecurity. Those were two big ones for me for a big portion of my career.
Yeah, I think too, for me going through that experience, like I would get so frustrated because it was just, they were just lecturing and so much of it was fluff and fat that I would just cut out. And I'm like, just teach me what's actually going to work and is usable. And it was never the case. And so I was just sitting there held hostage, it felt like, and I just didn't enjoy it. So, I think it applies into like a really clinical setting. And like if you're working in with like physicians and like it's in that kind of a facility setting, there's really good programs in that regard. But for general population and for sports performance, you're not going to get better than mentorships.